The void beyond the great spiral of Andar was littered with wreckage, the shattered remains of fleets that once boasted invincibility. It was here that Captain Marcus Kane, a grim-faced veteran of Earth's Terran Command, surveyed the grim scene aboard the Resolute. Humanity had been a late addition to the Galactic Concord, an alliance of species formed to counter the relentless expansion of the Corran Dominion, a race of bioengineered warriors bred for conquest. The Concord, a patchwork coalition of a dozen species, had underestimated both the Corrans' tactical brilliance and their sheer ferocity. Now, their once mighty fleets were reduced to slag, their forces scattered to the edges of oblivion. Sir, the Council's latest transmission, Lieutenant Commander Hayes, a man whose eyes betrayed the weariness of war, interrupted Marcus' brooding thoughts. He handed over a datapad displaying the message. The text was succinct, devoid of hope. All Concord fleets are to retreat to core sectors. Defensive protocols enacted. No reinforcements available. Marcus read it twice, his jaw tightening. Retreat? Defensive protocols? It was a death sentence, a quiet surrender. The Corran wouldn't stop at the core. They never did. Every world conquered by the Dominion became a breeding ground for more of their monstrosities. They left no survivors, no legacy beyond ash. They're giving up, Marcus said, his voice low and cold. What's left of them? Hayes replied bitterly. The High Command is scattered. The Arcallans have withdrawn entirely, and the Veilthi Council surrendered 3 systems yesterday. Sir, we're alone. Marcus turned to the command deck's viewport, the swirling blue glow of Andar's nebula casting a faint light over the bridge. He knew humanity's history had been one of grim determination in the face of annihilation. Earth had survived centuries of internal strife, resource crises, and near extinction. Humanity didn't back down, not when the stakes were survival itself. But the Concord had shackled them, insisting on centralized command structures and diplomatic niceties. Those luxuries had no place in a war like this. Not anymore, Marcus said, his voice carrying the steel of resolve. We're not retreating. We're not waiting for extinction. We're going to take the fight to them. Hayes hesitated. Sir, without Concord support, the Concord is dead. Marcus cut him off. They just don't know it yet. Humanity's fought worse odds before. We're not playing by their rules anymore. He turned to the crew. Signal all Terran ships. Effective immediately, we operate under independent command. Anyone unwilling to fight can leave now. But for those who stay, we're going to show the Corran what it means to wage war against humans. The bridge was silent for a moment. Then Hayes gave a grim nod. Aye, sir. Sending the signal now. In the depths of Andara Prime's subterranean catacombs, humanity's last hope was gathering. Engineers, soldiers, and scientists worked tirelessly, repurposing mining equipment and salvaged alien technology. Captain Mercer's voice echoed through the cavernous halls as he addressed the ragtag group of survivors. The Shiti think we're beaten. They think we're weak. But humanity has always thrived in adversity. When our ancestors faced extinction on Earth, they adapted. When the void of space threatened to swallow us, we conquered it. And now, we'll show these bastards what it means to fight like humans. The crowd erupted in cheers, their morale bolstered by Mercer's unwavering resolve. Among them was Dr. Victor Halloway, a former astrophysicist turned weapons designer. He approached Mercer with a tablet displaying schematics for a prototype weapon. Captain, if we can retrofit the Shiti's plasma cores into our railgun platforms, we might have a chance of penetrating their shields. It's risky, but... Risky is all we have left, Doctor, Mercer said. Make it happen. Hours turned into days as the Resistance prepared for an all-out assault. Scouts reported that the Shiti had established a massive hive structure in the heart of Andara Prime's capital. It served as both their command center and the hub for their planetary operations. If humanity could destroy it, they might cripple the invaders. Mercer and his team pored over tactical maps, planning a multi-pronged attack. Every detail was scrutinized, every contingency considered. This wasn't just about survival. It was about sending a message. Humanity would not bow. The resistance struck at dawn. Makeshift armored vehicles rumbled across the wastelands, their hulls patched together with scraps of Sci plating. Soldiers armed with hybrid weapons unleashed volleys of plasma-infused rounds that tore through the insectoid ranks. Mercer led the charge, his battle armor scorched and battered but functional. His rifle, modified with alien tech, hummed with deadly energy. Around him, the chaos of battle raged. Explosions illuminated the darkened sky, and the air was filled with the deafening roar of combat. "Push forward! Don't let them regroup!" Mercer bellowed, his voice cutting through the din. Dr. Holloway's prototypes proved invaluable. The modified railguns pierced the Sci's formidable shields, leaving them vulnerable. Grayson, commanding a squad of sharpshooters, coordinated precise strikes that decimated the enemy's ranks. As the resistance forces breached the outer perimeter of the hive, they encountered fierce resistance. Sci warriors, towering and grotesque, descended from the walls, their chittering cries echoing ominously. Mercer's team fought with unmatched ferocity, their determination fueled by the knowledge that retreat was not an option. Inside the hive, the atmosphere was oppressive. The walls pulsed with a bioluminescent glow, casting eerie shadows. The air was thick with the stench of decay and alien pheromones. Mercer led his squad deeper, navigating the labyrinthine tunnels with a mixture of caution and urgency. "Stay sharp," he warned. "The Sci won't let us reach their core without a fight." Grayson's voice crackled over the comms. "Captain, we've got movement up ahead. Multiple signatures." The squad braced for impact as a wave of Sci drones surged toward them. Mercer's rifle blazed, each shot precise and deadly. The soldiers fought as one, their coordination and training outmatching the hive's mindless drones. As they pressed forward, they encountered a massive chamber housing the hive's central neural nexus. It was a pulsating mass of organic machinery, protected by an elite guard of Sci warriors. Mercer knew this was the moment that would define their mission. The battle in the Nexus chamber was brutal. The Sci warriors were faster and stronger than anything the Resistance had faced before. Mercer's armor was damaged, his movements slowed, but his resolve never wavered. He fought with a primal intensity, a testament to humanity's indomitable spirit. Grayson provided cover fire, while Dr. Holloway worked to plan an explosive charge at the base of the neural nexus. The device, a fusion of human ingenuity and alien technology, was their best chance of destroying the hive's command structure. "Almost there. Keep them off me," Holloway shouted, his voice strained. Mercer and his team formed a defensive perimeter, holding the line against the relentless Sci assault. When the charge was finally armed, Holloway gave the signal, and the squad retreated, fighting every step of the way. The explosion rocked the hive, sending shockwaves through the structure. The neural nexus was obliterated, and the Sci forces began to falter. Without their central command, the once-coordinated swarm descended into chaos. Mercer and his squad emerged from the collapsing hive, battered but alive. The Resistance forces outside cheered as the alien forces retreated, their will to fight shattered. Humanity had achieved the impossible, but the victory was bittersweet. The cost had been high, and the war was far from over. Mercer knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity had sent a message, but the Sci would not forget. In the aftermath of the battle, the survivors of Andera Prime gathered to honor their fallen and rebuild what remained. Mercer stood before them, his once pristine uniform now a tattered symbol of resilience. "Today, we prove that humanity is not defined by its weaknesses, but by its strength. We are survivors, innovators, warriors. The Sci may return, but when they do, they'll find a species united and unyielding." As the crowd erupted in applause, Mercer felt a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity's fight was far from over, but they had shown the galaxy that they would never surrender. They were ruthless, resilient, and ready for whatever came next.